Good day, everyone. The Austrian Grand Prix just ended, and what a race we got. If you're not as emotionally exhausted as I am after watching it, go to a doctor, there's something wrong with you. A big congratulations to Valtteri Bottas, who won the race, Charles Leclerc finished second, and Lando Norris, who got his first podium in Formula One thanks to a 5-second penalty by Lewis Hamilton. So now it is time to take a look at who are the winners and losers of the Austrian Grand Prix. Let's start with the winners, and I want to start with Mercedes. Even though Hamilton, like I said, did not finish on the podium because of a penalty, they've been strong all weekend, and even with mechanical issues that they had to cope with from mid-race onward, they managed to keep the competition behind and just keep dominating. In quali, they were just on top. Same during the practice. They were there. Nobody could beat them at the top of their shape. Hamilton should have been on the podium, but it's not because he's not, because of a mistake, that they deserve a bad note. I think that Mercedes has shown this weekend that they are on top, they are the team to beat, and it's going to be pretty tough. Everyone has a lot of work to do if they want to catch up. So for this weekend, I will give Mercedes a 9 out of 10. McLaren, I think they definitely deserve to be among the winners. They were great in qualifying 4th for Lando Norris and 8th for Carlos Sainz, and in fact Norris started 3rd because of a last-minute penalty to Lewis Hamilton, so it was, we can say, his best quali ever. Norris managed to stay on track even with all the DNFs, managed to stay out of trouble and secure a 3rd place on the last lap by about 1/10 of a second, thanks to the various mechanical issues from the Mercedes and the 5-second penalty that Lewis got. Carlos Sainz finishing 5th, also passing Sergio Perez near the end of the race. Just great job for both of them. They definitely shown that last year was not a fluke, that they are in the mix, and that this year they can even fight for podium given good circumstances. So great job for them. I think McLaren this weekend deserves a 8.5 out of 10. Racing Point, not the best weekend, but still a productive and very good weekend. They had a good quali, and they were in the race the whole time from the start. Lance Stroll, who ended up having to retire, still had to compose also with sensor issues throughout part of the race, and he had to defend against contentions behind him. He did it brilliantly, even with the issues that were on the car. Sergio Perez also got super close to a podium, missed it by only a few laps in the end. His tire could not hold since he did not stop under a safety car like all the others did, but still managed to secure a 6th place, was in the fight until the very end, shown that Racing Point are also really in the mix to fight with the McLaren for best of the rest this year. And just great result. They just need to improve the reliability of the car, but they are there. Watch out for Racing Point. Sergio Perez again, great result for him, and sad for Lance Stroll, but it's one of those races. I think Racing Point deserved a good 7 out of 10. Our last winner, Williams, even though their result in the race was not brilliant, I insist on putting them as winners because this weekend they have shown that they made really good progress since last year. George Russell qualified in P17 in front of both Alfa Romeo and only missing Q2 by 17/100 of a second, or something like that, barely missing Q2. And during the race, yes, they were not there, but they were also never far off the back of the two Haas. So they were never shaken off by them. Nicolas Latifi, it's his first race in Formula One. Quali was not great, race was not great as he finished at the back of the pack, but it's his first race. We will give him a chance. I think we should not judge him right off the bat like that. The important part is that George Russell showed us with his experience that the car made a great leap forward, and if they keep improving, they could well be fighting for some points within a few races. So I also give William a 7 out of 10, and if they want to keep that standing from my part, well, they will have to keep improving and show that they are truly on the way of going back where they belong, which is on the podium. Next, we continue with what I call the passing grade. So teams that don't deserve to be winners, but kind of save the day if you want. And we'll go with Ferrari. Yes, it might surprise some of you, but they had a very bad quali. Charles Leclerc only 7th and or 6th, and Vettel could not do Q3, qualifying 11th. The start of the race, they were also not super in the mix, fighting with the McLarens in the Racing Point and having trouble passing them. Sebastian Vettel colliding with Carlos Sainz and spinning around made him lose a lot of ground. And it's just another mistake from Vettel that has you wonder, is he really in the right state of mind, knowing that he's leaving Ferrari and the car is not great? And did Ferrari make the right choice by letting him leave? In the end, they really saved the day during the race. Charles Leclerc, staying safe, staying on track, managed to secure a second place podium, also thanks to Hamilton's penalty, but he would still have been third either way. So it's great job from Charles, and Vettel, saves his own honor by ending up 10th, which has you wonder, if not for all the DNF, would he have been in the points? Probably not. So Ferrari saves the day, but they definitely need to improve. Next week's going to be hard again in Austria, so let's see in Hungary in 2 weeks with their new car, new package, if they can improve. I give Ferrari this week a 6.5 out of 10. AlphaTauri, they delivered. Not a bad weekend overall. Qualifying 12 and 13, they knew it was going to be a hard one. Not much data since winter testing, so they come here with not many new upgrades, but they know they have a relatively good car since it is based on the 2019 Red Bull. At the end of the day, Pierre Gasly managed to finish in 7th place, also staying out of trouble. And Daniel Kvyat was also close to the points, if not for a puncture at the end of the race on lap 69, so could not, unfortunately, finish the race. But both cars, were there. They were not too far off. They have potential for this year. Not much to say, but they deserve 6.5 out of 10. Let's finish our passing grades with Renault. Definitely an average quali. Ocon 14 and Ricciardo 10th, who was impeded by a yellow flag, so he should have qualified higher than that. They also stayed safe at the start and most of the race, but sadly Ricciardo had to retire on lap 18 due to mechanical issue, so could not really show off his talent and show if the Renault was there. Ocon stayed on track, Even though he lost 2 places at the start, made a good comeback, showed a promising result for a driver that has not been racing for a year and a half, finishing 8th and securing a few points for the team. So let's see over the next few weeks where Renault will stand. I think they have potential, but definitely this week, probably to forget, even if they're not big losers, they deserve a 6 out of 10. And this week's losers, sadly, we have to go, of course, with Red Bull. Great qualifying, definitely showed that they are the best behind the Mercedes at this point. Max Verstappen staying third at the beginning of the race, faced electrical issue from what we understood, then had to retire early on lap 11. Alex Albon kept fighting and fighting during a safety car, put on the soft tire while everyone in front was fighting with old tires. So Albon had potentially a podium and even a win in sight, if not for a collision with Hamilton. But then sadly, he also had to retire on lap 69 due to mechanical issues. So we will not know if he could have fight for a win. Albon really disappointed with this race, and Red Bull will need to work on their reliability, but you know, they will be there eventually, but it's for sure a weekend to forget. 5 out of 10 for Red Bull. Alfa Romeo also knew it was going to be hard coming there without having running their car and with no upgrades. Qualified 18 and 19 behind the Williams of George Russell. Kimi, had to retire toward the end of the race after a safety car because of a wheel that was not placed properly on his car. So it's going to be a tough luck for Alfa Romeo on that. Giovinazzi, yes, he had a good start, gained 3 places, managed to finish 9th, but they were never really there. If not for all the DNF, they would have finished far off the back. It's a weekend to forget for Alfa Romeo, but I think, even with Giovinazzi's good result, which we are all happy for them, they have a lot of work to do. It's a weekend to forget also for Alfa Romeo. 4 out of 10. Finally, Haas, they were just never there at all to begin with. Qualifying 15 and 16. After the start of the race, they had trouble keeping the Williams at bay, and they could not really keep up with the Alfa Romeos in front. So it has you wonder, did they actually go back compared to their contenders? They definitely look like they are the team that made the less progress in comparison to their direct rivals from last year. They have a lot of work to do. Both cars had to retire due to brake failures. Definitely a weekend to forget for Haas. So it's no more than a 3 out of 10 for this weekend for the 2 cars. Before finishing, I want to make a special mention on reliability at the Red Bull Ring. Many cars suffered reliability issues. It is the first race of the season, so it was to be expected. But also the curbs at the Red Bull Ring seems to be a big issue, and you have to hit those if you want a good lap. So many drivers had to cope with issues before because they went on the curbs too much, and they will have to improve if they want to have a chance in the following races and even next week. So that's it, guys. Thank you. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and like this video. Tell me what you think. Is my rating too rough, or am I going too easy on some teams? Let me know, and I will see you next week for the second race of the season, again at the Red Bull Ring. Thank you, guys, and I just hope you have a great day, and what a great race we had. Keep watching, and thanks.